Okay. Hi, hello, hello, hello. It is extremely bright, which also means it's probably going to be super hot. Uh, oh, my camera's not clear here. What can I do to clean it? Let's switch you over here. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Hello. Okay, let me go through and say hi to everybody first, okay? Hello, Michelle. Good morning. Good morning. Brandy, is that you? It's so hard to see all the comments. I'm so sorry, guys. If I didn't say hi, please just tell me to say hi. Linda, Dahlia, Stacy. Hello. Hi, Kiana. Hi, Sia. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Ginger. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Summerstar. Hi, Amy. Hi, Tanya. Pamela. Hi, Jack. How are you? Oh my goodness. Everyone, Amy, hello. Kim, hi, Kim. Priscilla. Oh my God, TJ, Monique, hello, hello. Eunice, good morning. Hi, Kelly. Kelly, it's been so long. Okay. Let me read through the comments. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi. Happy Wednesday. Yes, yes, yes. OMG, today's gonna be a beautiful day. We're going to allow it to be. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Michelle, for letting everybody know. Amazon, Grand Rising. Oh, your birthday's 8/18. I love that. Oh, I love Leos. You guys are the best. Oh my goodness. Hello. Yes, I'm wearing green for abundance today. Okay, I'm quite depressed, got blood work done, the results are not positive. This life-changing for me, a little scared, not gonna lie. Well, we're gonna work on belief systems today, Courtney, so you're in the right place, baby. I'm so excited that you came here because I also just want you to acknowledge how big of a deal that is. You could have decided to not show up in community because when we get results back that are overwhelming or that make us feel unseen or unsafe, it's very easy for us to be like, let me just stay by myself in isolation, and you chose to be in community. So that speaks a lot to who you are as a person, right? Hi, Goddess Mo. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Okay. Okay. So I feel like my camera is like being strange with y'all, and I do not enjoy that at all. You guys can, okay. So much more better. Okay. Yes. Yes. Who has finals? Oh my goodness. Not me not catching up. TJ. I'm so tired today. I have finals this week. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I do not miss school. I really don't. I do not. I know that might sound really crazy as an educator, but I don't miss it at all. But we're wishing you good luck on your finals. Okay, so before we jump into today's topic, which is all about beliefs, I'm so excited to talk about this. We're going to start off with sharing some wins. What are we celebrating? What has happened to you over the past couple of days, since Sunday or since last Wednesday, depending on when you guys have been in community with us? What has happened for you? What's a win that you have? Even if it's a small win, again, right? Wins are not necessarily big or small. They're whatever we decide them to be. So it's really important for you to remember that. I know for me, a really big win is that I went to an event by myself. I was so proud of me. I went to an event in Philadelphia, and it's like a walking club, and I went to just go and walk and to meet other people. And though I didn't really network like that, I'm gonna be completely transparent. I came there, I put on my headphones, listened to my book, and enjoyed the view and just being in community as opposed to being very active in it. But I'm still very proud of myself for getting there because it was definitely at a later time in the city, and I'm still working through some anxiety about where I live. So it was nice for me to be there and to just be amongst other people, enjoying being active. So that was my win. I really appreciated that. And I've been sticking to my workouts despite the time. I love that. And I've been pretty much on time with all my back end stuff for the gardening collective, getting all the meditations and classes ready for that. I just posted the EFT 101 masterclass for anyone that wants to join in. It's absolutely free. You'll be able to see it on my social media to join in. That's available. So I've been getting some things done. So very proud of myself, and I want to celebrate y'all as well too, okay? So let's do it. Okay. Sonia! Oh my goodness. Hello, hello. That's why I'm still here dealing with my flare up and have to go to the doctor today, hopefully not the hospital. Tanya, you know I'm sending you love. Flare ups suck. Do not enjoy those at all. Literally the worst feelings. Disappointed home was supposed to be delivered today and can't because of the rain. Ugh. Remember in divine timing, right? We never know why things are not happening in the time frame in which we feel is best for us or in the time frame in which we've decided and agreed to, right? There are so many reasons why things don't show up in the time frame that we desire. I know it's easy for us to get to a space where it's just like, why is this not working out the way that I need it to work out? But I want to, again, to encourage you that you can shift that perspective to like, okay, if it didn't come in a time that I agreed to, it has to be coming in divine timing, because I'm not going to allow it to be that it's going to come into a time where it's inconvenient for me. Because when we start to put that belief into our existence, we're going to validate it, and then we're going to have the experience that we do not want. And we're going to talk so much more about this today. I am going over the basics of belief systems and what it means and what they are. We'll have a more in-depth masterclass in the collective, but I really want to make sure that I leave you guys with something that just keeps you mindful of your belief systems, and also mindful of the way that you're going to practice these things, right? Once you start, just like a quick disclaimer before I start reading more wins. Once you start choosing to show up and being like, you know what, I want to take ownership of my life. I want to see what my energy can do. You're going to be given opportunities to showcase what your energy can do, right? We talked about this before. When you ask for more peace, you can kind of expect chaos, right? Because the universe, God, source, whatever you call on to, wants to know if you're serious about what you're saying, if you're actually ready. Because it could just be that you're making a statement. Maybe you're just making a statement. It's not necessarily a test. I kind of hate that concept of like the universe or God is testing you, because, you know, I just didn't really enjoy school that much. But it's more of a, are you actually ready for this? Because this is what it would look like. It would be a practice. Asking for more peace does not mean that you're sitting in full lotus oming all day, though that can be very exciting to some of us. It means that there are things happening, but your inner world is at peace. These are call to actions for our inner world. So just keep that in mind. If you're asking for divine timing and it doesn't happen in the timing that you want, then it's coming in divine timing. Are you going to show up and trust in that and have that belief for yourself? Even if the belief is just so that you feel better about the situation, that can do so much more to soothe you than to believe that things are not working out for you and that universe, source, this world is against you. There's so many things outside of us that are not for us. There are so many spaces and places that we'll go into where we are not liked, where we are even hated, right? We might even be disowned. Do not do it to yourself in your inner world. Give yourself that peace, okay? Let me go and say and go through all these beautiful things. Yes, yes, Courtney, we do adore you. Yes, 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 yes. Tanya, sending you some healing vibes always, because again, flare-ups are just terrible things. I wanted a double birthday party for Stella, for friends on a boat. We all rented. The views were incredible. So grateful. That sounds wonderful. On a journey to exercise and better health. So far, so good for me. Linda, right there with you, baby. This is the first time where I have been able to really work out since the pregnancy loss, because my body just wasn't able to do it. It kept putting me in the hospital whenever I would work out how I normally would. So be able to complete a 20-minute workout is a big deal for me. Okay? To be able to complete it and not be in the hospital afterwards, to not need blood work, is a big deal for me. So I'm celebrating that. Okay? Let's see. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, it was so much fun. I'm really happy. Hopefully next time I'll connect with more people. But I was just happy to be there, honestly. Like, I was so proud of myself. And I rode my bike over there too. I was just like, girl, you're doing it one step at a time. I'm a gym rat and yogi. I love this for you. Oh, one day. Aspiration. It helps me get through my days. I know that's right. Had the family over and didn't stress about every detail being perfect and let everyone else help and bring stuff. Michelle, that's huge. Congratulations. That's a big deal. Oh, that's a big deal. Woo. My mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so got answers. So you have more clarity on what's happening. it's so interesting, the duality of being diagnosed or having, a diagnosis be revealed to you, because there's this immediate relief, and then almost instantly it's like okay, let's game plan to handle how this is going to happen, how this is going to unfold. So I really appreciate you for just honoring the fact that you got answers, because that in itself is a blessing, though the answers may not be what you desired them to be, um, or it may seem like the results are not favorable. Just being able to know what it is so important. Before I was diagnosed with lupus, I thought I was losing my mind, because every time I would get sick, people were like, nothing's wrong with you. So I can relate to the relief in like having an answer, even if that answer means that you're gonna have more questions. Do you know what I mean? um Let me see. I finished the first month of my new business venture, a pop-up at a restaurant. Dream manifested. Amazon, congratulations. Oh my goodness. And I said I was gonna bring my other phone. I'm gonna bring my other phone. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna write this down though. Yeah, let me grab my phone because I'm gonna screenshot. It's so much more faster. 1 second. Because I want to be able to honor everybody and their wonderful wins. And I actually charged my phone this time to make sure. And I forgot it. Things happen. Okay. Perfect. Let's screenshot some things, because I want to celebrate everybody as much as possible. Okay? Okay. Let's look through here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness, there's so many wins. Okay. Okay. My win is checking my email. Oof. Same. And seeing that this live was starting in 46 seconds. Oh my God, Amy, it's been a while. I need this community boost today. I'm so happy you're here. My win is working on my limiting beliefs. We're doing that today, baby. And getting some things done at my new place, things on my computer, budgeting, and looking for side hustle, working at a yoga studio. We are all winning. Summer, I love this for you. Having beautiful children that can help me and encourage me when I'm struggling. So glad they chose me. TJ, you sound like a phenomenal human being and a wonderful parent. And your kids are a reflection of who you are. I hope you know that. All the beauty and wisdom that you see in them, it's because they have you, right? I am trying to keep that Lotus just bummed. And you're allowed to be bummed. You're allowed to be bummed. Let me be very clear. Even though we're shifting our beliefs, we're still honoring what we're feeling. It can still be a shitty feeling, right? There's nothing amazing about getting that type of information, but we can also still find that silver lining, right? I'm never here to promote toxic positivity or spiritual bypass of like, just believe yourself through it and you'll be fine. Like, no, you can also honor the very real human feeling of this sucks. My intention is that you don't stay in there, that you don't suffocate in that knowing, you don't drown in that understanding, that you're able to witness it for what it is, which is a moment in time, right? A moment of contrast, a moment of resistance even, and then be able to be like, okay, I honor that, I felt through that, it's not great. I'm not gonna minimize it, but I'm also not going to allow it to overcome my entire existence, right? Because that's where we get stuck a lot of times. We have things come up in our lives that feel unfavorable, that feel misaligned, and our response is to think that that's it. I'm not going to be able to get out of this. And sometimes it feels like that, and it's okay to honor that. But I'm also here to share that that's not where your story ends. If anything, that might be where another chapter begins for you, okay? Here we go. Thank you, Jack. Congrats on your physical wins. Yeah, you know I'm excited. I'm excited. Linda, I want to see what your win is. Why am I not? Everything's moving so fast. Yeah, yes, Amazon is huge. Thank you, Jack. It felt great to get out on the water and reconnect with some old friends. I love that. You did not, Deb. We just started. Hello, how are you? Thank you, Courtney. Oh my goodness, we tapped. Yeah. Jack, don't play with Deb, okay? I don't want her to get stressed out. When I was invited to co-facilitate an acro yoga event. Oh my goodness, Kim, that sounds so cool for a bachelorette party this week. Paid gigs, so I'm good for that. Oh, we love when we're getting paid for our gifts. That's amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's like really freaking cool. I finally took the first step to becoming a certified meditation instructor. Oh my gosh. Please let me know how that journey is. Okay. I did mine during COVID. If you need any help or support, just like, DM me. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited for you. A win for me this week thus far is being here because the new diagnosis, I've been really tired all the time and I've been a nap taker, but lately I just ran down. Just feel ran down. I'm so happy you're here, Courtney. Like I said before, that's a big deal. Getting news like that and still choosing to show up in community is not something that everybody chooses to do. So I appreciate you for choosing yourself and choosing to be here with us, right? Yes, I'm celebrating everyone too, Amazon. Thank you, Lotus, for the words of encouragement. Life is a mixed bag right now. When is life not a mixed bag? You know what I'm saying, Kelly? Like, sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, with all these blessings, there are still burdens. Like, what? And I know I'm like a little bit more lighthearted, but that's because I'm here in community with you all. But trust and believe I have my moments where I'm like, why is this necessary for my journey? Why do I need to go through this, God? Why? I don't understand why this is necessary for me. We just have to honor the flow of things, right? Yep, like Michelle said, ride the tide. Yep. Ebb and flow, baby. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Priscilla. All 5 of them are all different, but they are all so here for me. It's incredible, especially the relationship between me, my mother. It was never good. Yeah. Yeah. It shows a lot of the healing that you provided for them. Hi, Monique. Hi, new here. Your energy is beautiful. Thank you. I'm so happy you're here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I promise. I spilled water on my laptop last night. I stayed calm. Ooh, that's a win because I don't know if I could have stayed calm. That's a win, Jack. That's a big win because oh my goodness. Whew, let me just move my cup because I do not want to manifest that experience. Oh my goodness. Stephanie, hi. It depends. There's so many different ways. I'm not sure if anybody wants to share. So if you want to share where you're doing your certification at, I did mine. So I had like an in-person one, and then I did like a certification through like a school on Udemy. I have very mixed feelings about certifications in the wellness space. Maybe we'll save that for like a candid conversation, but like, yeah. I have the certifications because apparently they're required in order for me to teach. But I know so many people who have been teaching meditation for years, for decades, and then who are not considered qualified because they didn't do a certification that didn't exist prior to a few years ago. But that's the whole thing when capitalism comes into play with wellness. All of a sudden, things need to be certified. And it's not because it's for the safety of the community in which they promote. It's really just because it's a way to increase capital in a space that was known for just sharing stories, sharing information. So yeah, there are people who have trained with gurus in India and can't teach yoga here, despite learning it from a source. So I have my certifications because if I don't have them, I cannot teach. But do I think that they are necessary? I don't think that they show true validity for the expertise in which you have. I've been studying meditation since I was a teenager, like going to seminars, going to events, reading books, studying with guru. None of that was accounted for when I got my certification. It took me like 12 hours to do, which says a lot. Okay. Yes. Lotus, everyone, please benefit from one of your example. Yes, Jack, please. Thank you. I know everybody's like, I don't know about that, Jack. That's intense, but look at you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Udemy. If you go to Udemy, if you DM me, I can tell you the exact teacher that I had. He was fantastic and adored him. Great information, things like that. It was easy to get certified. But I would always encourage self-study when it comes to teaching meditation. Very important. Self-study. I would also talk about like studying your tonality, maybe even studying hypnotherapy because it teaches you how tonality works to access the subconscious mind. I would couple it with other things, but I guess that depends on the extensiveness of the program in which you're doing. Does that make sense? Thank you for that insight. It could feel like a money grab at times or even gatekeeping for certifications. Kim, I agree 100%, like 100%. And then also to just be very mindful of the teacher in which you practice with. Make sure that they align with your goals and values. I was offered a yoga certification scholarship during the pandemic, because that was like the big Black Lives movement that was happening, and everybody was just like giving things away to Black people. Um, and then I was a part of that community. It felt very unsafe. Um, and then the woman that led it was a white woman, and she had this entire article for like New York Times where essentially she claims to have saved 500 Black women's lives by giving us a scholarship. I didn't complete my certification there because that just felt misaligned, right? So again, it's very important to be mindful of who you're learning from, and also just to make sure that you take things with a grain of salt, right? Practitioners are human beings too. They say things and do things that are extremely messy at times, but it's important for you to feel safe in what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're learning. I did go on to do my other yoga certification with a Black owned community, and that had its ups and downs too. But yeah, I do think most of the time it's a money grab, and the people that I know that are devoted to this wellness lifestyle, that really live in it, do not have certifications, but could absolutely blow your mind in what it is that they're able to teach you and hold space for you in doing. So that's my 2 cents on it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, if this is a donation based experience, if you are able to donate, I would deeply appreciate it. If you're able to leave a review or a rating, I would deeply appreciate it. If you listen to a track on my teacher profile, I would deeply appreciate it. These are all ways that help me continue having a livelihood, being able to pay bills. So yes, if you can donate, that'd be amazing. I deeply appreciate that. Thank you guys for reminding me. Every day is ever learning with your salt. Carry on. Hi, how are you? Tell Logan I said hi. I had a hard day emotionally yesterday, but was able to reach out to my community and receive support instead of dealing with it alone. I ended up at the park by the water feeling grateful. I love that. I love that. And that really just beautifully symbolizes how a moment of sadness or even tragedy can bring you to a moment of love, right? It can redirect you, because the truth is, Sonia, you may have been really needing that community, and maybe you weren't tapping in like you needed to. And this experience helped you to like remember, oh, I have people that got me. I'm safe and I'm seen. So I'm happy that you ended up with that end experience. And my heart goes out to you for whatever it is that you had to experience that gave you emotional distress. Okay? My experience in psychology was like that. You could do classes in hours, aren't always wise, loving, and helpful. Right. It's just like education is just an interesting experience in general. I always love to see it. The daily EFTs. You're wonderful. See it is awesome. Always bless you. Thank you so much. Your little face just lit up. Oh, I'm so happy, Logan. That makes me happy. Yes, Priscilla, with gifts to your kiddos. I could not agree more. This is wonderful. Okay, all right. So our check-in did really good. I'm so glad we have wins to celebrate. If you don't have a win to celebrate right now, do not worry. Do not think that there's something wrong with you or that you're not doing it right. Wins flow. Like, they ebb and they flow. When they come up, just write them down if you can. And we will talk about it next week too. Okay? Thank you guys so much for that. Okay. Let's talk about the power of belief, navigating your life through your belief system. Ooh. Honestly, I really only talk about things that I'm very fascinated about. So I often say this is like one of my favorites, but everything I talk about is pretty much my favorite stuff. That's why I talk about it. But belief systems were probably one of the first things that I began to really study when I was ready to change the experience I was having in life. Because I kept being told I had to change my thoughts. So I'm like, well, how do I do that? Because I didn't even know I had negative thoughts. I'm just thinking I'm moving throughout life, and this is how people talk to themselves. And then I started going to seminars, and I remember one particular. I ended up going, and I was speaking on a panel, and there was a teacher before me, and she was talking about the BS in belief systems, and I like the little acronym. And she was like, is it BS or is it your actual belief system? And she challenged the notion that a lot of what we are thinking and agreeing to and committing to in life is BS. Like, we just have a lot of BS in our belief systems. And hearing her talk about it in that way really opened my eyes to pay more attention to how I was speaking to myself and what it is I was choosing to believe and why I was choosing to believe it. Like, really questioning my existence. And it was a really beautiful and insightful experience for me, because I began to witness, like, oh, I didn't even know I thought about things in that way. Why would I think that way? And I started to unpack, like, okay, these things maybe my mom has said, or maybe like my grandparents had told me, or maybe like, one time some random person said this thing about me, and because it caught me off guard, right, it became a traumatic experience, and I've carried that. And what it taught me is that we hold so much stuff in our bodies that we're completely unaware of. And a lot of those things are in the driver's seat, navigating our lives, whether we want them to or not. A really great book on handling and managing beliefs is The Subconscious Mind. And The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I cannot remember their name, but I will add it to the book list. But I read that book so many times. And first off, it kind of scared me at first, because I was just like, wow, I'm giving a lot of my power away to people that I don't know and that may not genuinely care for me. And coming to that realization can be a little jarring at times. But once I got past that initial response and realized that, oh, I can communicate to my subconscious mind, to rewire beliefs, that's what I started diving deep into. That's when I started studying hypnotherapy, and I started doing sleep hypnosis and utilizing the tools that work with my subconscious mind to help me rewire the ways that I think, right? Yes, exactly. Joseph Murray. Yep. Thank you so much. Yes, that is the book, The Power of Subconscious Mind. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perfect. Beautiful. Love and light to all people. So say yes, yes, yes. Yeah, there's so many programs. Initially a little daunting, then awareness recalibration. Exactly, Kieran. Like, it's like, woof, okay. So what you're telling me is I have a lot more influence over my life than I realize, and that I essentially have been asleep most of the time and just accepting things that people have told me to be true because it's true for them. Cool, 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 cool. Right? So I want to start off with understanding what belief systems are. Okay? So beliefs are like ideas we have in our minds about what is true. And these are ideas, right? It's not necessarily factual. And I know sometimes people are like, but no, everyone has gone through that and it's been proven. It's been proven to a certain degree in a certain space. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true for everyone, right? That's the interesting thing about data. I was just talking to my girlfriend about this. A lot of data excludes a lot of different people, especially people of color, and the experiences that we have that are unique to us. So it's always interesting when you get data, you need to really look into it and make sure that it applies to you, right? They help us to understand the world and decide on how we should act. That is what beliefs do. They are ideas that we have accepted, consciously or subconsciously, and they literally show us how we navigate in the world. Beliefs really highlight how much of a creator you actually are, right? If I have a belief that I'm a beautiful person, it does not matter if you don't believe that, because I do, right? The same way that some people think that the earth is flat, some people think that the earth is round. These are beliefs, right? Because the truth of the matter is, I know it sounds very like, oh, I don't know, very woo, but like, I can't change your belief on that. Even if I wholeheartedly believe with my heart that that is just not true, that is what is going on in your mind. I can't change your mind through force, right? I can only hope that through experience, maybe you'll grow, you'll expand. That's a whole different journey. But beliefs for ourselves, whatever you believe is true to you, which also means that if you no longer want that belief to be true, you have to stop feeding it your energy and power, right? That's how it works. And it sounds very simple, but it can be very challenging to do that, because a lot of our beliefs are deeply rooted from tribal energy, from like our first interactions with other people, be it our parents or the teachers in our lives. Those are usually our primary examples of like how to navigate life. And you don't necessarily start to challenge beliefs until you get into like higher education, right? It's usually towards the end of high school and into college, where you're able to kind of study a little bit more broader things than what's being like what you're forced to study. You can kind of study your interests. I mean, it's a little bit different now because of social media and just technology, but it's usually around that age that you start to question things and start to see like, why do I believe this to be true? Right? Why do I think that this is the case? um, so our brains, which are like supercomputers in our heads, they keep our beliefs safe so we can remember them. They store all of our beliefs. So everything that we think is true or not true, anything that we believe in or we don't believe in is stored up here, and helps us to navigate this life that we live in, right? The roles of beliefs help us quickly decide what's good or bad, right or wrong, and they're like maps that guide us in our adventures every day. So I just want us to really highlight the fact that beliefs are that serious and crucial in our lives. And at the same time, they're just these random ideas that we've agreed to. Like, the duality of beliefs are so fascinating to me. The amount of authority they have in our lives, yet they can literally be so wrong, right? Because for us to decide what is wrong, what is right, is based off of what we were taught, what we were taught to believe is wrong or right. But who are we taught by, and where do their beliefs come from, and where do those beliefs come from, right? That's the purpose of being on a spiritual or wellness journey, is to begin questioning these things. And it can definitely feel overwhelming, especially when you start to realize that a lot of these beliefs cannot be backed up with any real substance, any real resource. It's almost just like because that's the way things were. And you're like, but no, but why were things that way? Like, because that's what it was. Like, but why was it that? Right? And once you get to that space, for me, what I learned on my journey, once I get to that space where it cannot be explained to me, where it's not comprehensible, that's a belief that I'm working on getting rid of. Because what do you mean that's just the way that it is? What does that mean? How do we get to that? And how are we all agreeing to that? Especially if the way that it is harming me or harming people in my community, right? This is how we build our sense of activism, through our beliefs. This is how we build our sense of awareness in the world. We are global citizens. It's very important that we challenge and refine our beliefs to ensure that we are being a safe space not only for ourselves and our immediate community, but the community at large. Let me know if that makes sense, okay? Vita, hello, hello. I met a woman on the subway about that book. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. No matter what, beautiful color or beliefs are created. Yes, good morning. Hi, Vita. I'm so happy you're here. I can't wait to see you. Thank you. I'm so happy you guys like this topic. You guys actually picked this topic, so this is really amazing. I'm struggling with challenging my beliefs about myself. It's tough. We're going to talk about how that works, Michelle. I got you. Reclaim freedom from controlling views. Yes, yes, yes. Okay? So how do beliefs show up in our lives? In the mind, beliefs can make us feel happy and confident, or sometimes worried and scared. They help us think about what is possible. In our brains, it's like our brains find proof for our beliefs to make them true, right? We talked about this. The brain is never going to want you to feel crazy, right? Or to feel out of sync. So if you believe that the sky is red, your brain will automatically start to look for things to validate that truth for you, despite the fact that that may not be true for everyone else. That is how our brains are wired. It's a very interesting support system, because like the brain is there like to help you, but it doesn't have like a pendulum of like what is right or wrong. It's just kind of like, oh, that's what we believe? Okay, let me start finding information, because you can find information pretty much on anything to support any real belief or any idea that you have, right? Especially in today's Google age, you can go online and find think pieces from random people in random spaces that support an idea that really may not be true, or maybe even harmful for the collective, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the beliefs and like, oh, they're hard to change. It's because you have been validating and getting information to validate that belief for a very long time, right? So again, we go back to that concept of, if I believe that I am a happy person, if someone was to come up to me and say, actually, Lotus, you are a very sad person, it is up to me to either choose to honor the belief in which I already have, or to give them authority and say, you know what? Yeah, maybe I am more sad. and then take on that belief, right? It's a choice. We're constantly in a space of choosing which beliefs that we're going to fortify and which beliefs that we're going to throw to the wayside. I want us to leave this session really looking at the beliefs that allow us to feel good about ourselves. Because those are the beliefs that you want to nurture, that you want to care, that you want to tend to in the garden of your mind, right? The community at large. Yes. Very, very, very important. So true now more than ever. Brain doesn't have a reliable compass on its own. It really doesn't. It just does not have a reliable compass. It's just here for a good time. That's just what the brain does. The brain is a phenomenal tool, but it is not meant to lead you at all. It's up there with like the ego. When we talk about the ego, like, oh, the ego's a bad thing. The ego's not a bad thing. It's just not meant to lead you. It's meant to be utilized. And quite often we try to lead from a space of intellect, but we don't, again, do our due diligence to see where this intelligence is coming from. What is it that makes this intelligent, and what is this that makes it not intelligent? We very rarely question those things. It's not until you go on a spiritual journey, or you have a usually like a health concern, right? And then you're able to be like, whoa, right? Let me look at what I'm believing in. Do I believe that this food is good for me? Do I believe that exercise can help me? Do I believe that I need to change my environment because these people around me feel negative? You start to challenge things, right? That's kind of why we get this contrast and this resistance in life, because they help us to rewire and to reevaluate the belief systems that have been guiding us to that exact place in time. Yes, exactly, Linda. A dark night of the soul, wake me up. It's a wake up call of like, hey, so this belief system that you have, this is where it's leading us. It's leading us here. Do you want to continue on this path, or are we looking for redirection? Right? That's up to us to decide. And once again, the thing about, okay, I want to be like really gentle when I say this because my goal is not to terrify anybody. But when we start to acknowledge our belief systems and we start to say, okay, I don't like this, or I do like this, you're going to get an influx of information and experiences to help you sort things out. So do not be surprised that in the next couple of days you have things that are challenging your belief system. It's because your brain is kind of like, oh, I'm comprehending this new understanding of belief systems and I need more clarity. So do we still believe in this? Or are we believing in that? You're going to experience some type of contrast. And that just kind of comes with learning about spirituality, with learning about wellness. It's how the body adapts, how it molds to new experiences and spaces. It's going to challenge what it is that you know. It's up to you to have community and support, of course, but also to have a level of confidence in yourself to be like, yeah, let's talk about this. Let's explore this belief and why I have it. Let's explore why I have negative beliefs about myself, right? Is it because of my childhood? 9 times out of 10, it usually has a lot to do with our childhood, whether we like it or not. It's to do with my parents. And once you kind of are able to find a reason why, or maybe you're not able to find a reason why. If you're not able to find a reason why, that's why I really love EFT, because you don't necessarily need to have a why to be able to change the way that the brain responds to your belief system. With different modalities like talk therapy or CBT, you kind of need a why, something to anchor you to the experience so that you can like peel back those layers. So depending on what answer you get to, just know that there's always a strategy, there's always support for you, okay? So if you're someone that can't get to a why, don't think that there's something wrong with you. I can't tell you how many times I have clients that are like, I don't understand why, and I have to reassure them that the why actually in this case does not have to be necessary. And the more that you tap in and, reconnect your energy, the why just might suddenly appear to you one day, okay? Yes, let me go through this. Questioning our beliefs freaks out the brain. It's fascinating. It really does, Ginger. The brain is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We were good. Now you're saying we're not good? What? What's going on? Like, right? You start to like really panic. Again, a movie I will always suggest is Inside Out. because it really shows you what's happening in the mind and how your emotions are trying to process these belief systems as well, how they validate a belief system. You could believe something because there was a big emotion attached to the experience, and that's why you believe it to be true. Not because it is for you, but simply because you have a visceral response to it, right? It becomes way more complex and layered, right? I've learned to embrace the chaos confusion when I started to shift beliefs. It's super important. And again, I want to just take that note of like what chaos symbolizes. Chaos is also a part of creation. Think of them like twin sisters, okay? And they all embody the energy of the feminine divine. I know media has pushed feminine divine like you're frolicking in the forest where there's beautiful flowers and you're in a flowy dress and oh, the world is beautiful, there's rainbows, there's sunshine, and that is definitely a very real aspect of feminine divine energy. It is just not the only one, and it's not the most prominent form of energy, right? Feminine energy is chaotic. It is pure and utter chaos. A lot of times it's very confusing because what you're feeling in the body doesn't necessarily make sense in the mind. There's a book that I'm reading on neural aesthetics, and that's like this just how beauty affects the brain. It's a basic way of saying it. And there was this art exhibit where this woman went in and the beautiful spaces triggered her body to panic. Even though consciously she was like, these are beautiful space, I love this. But her body was in a state of anxiety because they were like testing, they had like this type of mechanism on her to test everything out. Then when she was in spaces that felt ugly to her consciously, right, her body was at ease. And she was like, well, why is this? It's like, well, you had a traumatic experience. And when she started to peel back the layers, she realized that she had dealt with a lot of racism where she wasn't able to be in beautiful spaces because people often looked at her or like would follow her and make her feel unsafe in these spaces. So even though she yearned to be a part of those spaces, her body identified that as a trigger for trauma, right? So that's, you see that confusion there of like, okay, but my mind and then my body are misaligned. That's also a part of feminine divine energy. That confusion comes up, but it comes up to be a bit of like a lighthouse for you, right? Like, okay, this confusion is actually a place for me to begin. And a lot of times we don't think that. We just dismiss things that are confusion or we get stuck in it. I can't figure it out. What's going on? You just have to acknowledge that you're confused. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't understand this. And I just leave it there, as opposed to powering through it and I gotta understand it because I'm a smart person and this should make sense to me. Sometimes it's like I don't get it, and that's okay. It has nothing to do with my belief in my intelligence, my belief in my level of confidence to figure things out. It just simply means that in this moment I don't understand it, and that's okay. That's a part of the human journey, right? That's a part of us being able to show up in our fullness, okay? Seeing you in this topic, Lotus, you're gifted. Oh, thank you, Jack. And seeing and communicating this. I was never the same after reading Sacred Woman. Oh, Sacred Woman, I became one big question. Sacred Woman is also a beautiful example of feminine divine energy because it is a very confusing book. I was fortunate enough to be able to take the journey with Queen of Four when I was younger, but she kind of has like very direct information for you to do to tap into your feminine divine energy. And like at the end of every chapter, she's like, only if you want to though. Like you don't have to do any of this, by the way. And you're just like, what? You just made me like wake up at 4 a.m. to do these prayers and to take these medicines and to do these baths. And now you're saying it's only if I want to. That is also feminine energy of just like, it can be confusing, but it is a great starting point for our journeys if we allow it just to be that. Remember that as you're moving through life, you are an observer. You are there to witness. You're not there to attach yourself to every experience that you have. That's what's creating that discourse within you because you are identifying yourself to these experiences. And as you identify yourself to these experiences, you are fortifying belief systems that are not in service of you. Just because something has happened to you does not mean that it is you, right? We talked about this with one of the days on health and the gratitude journey, where though I am diagnosed with lupus is not me. That is a separate experience, right? And because I have that level of separation, I have that detachment, it has become a lot easier for me to manage something that ultimately takes lives, right? Because it can get that serious very fast. I just want to make sure that I'm making sense and I'm not confusing anybody. So let me just read the comments, okay? I'm exhausted to fight confused and I'm a pro. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, okay, you got it. I'm confused. Or someone's like, no, let me explain to you. I'm like, you don't, I'm telling you right now, I, let's just put this here. Because it can also be a sign that your energy is not ready to receive that information. There's so many reasons why we are confused, by the way. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't smart or you're not capable. It just simply could mean, like, we're just not there for that. It just may not be something that you need to learn in this moment right now. This may not be the appropriate teacher or space for you in this moment. Because if it was, it wouldn't be confusing. Meanwhile, I have a lot of internal chaos right now. We all have a lot of internal chaos. Many of us just are not aware of it. So I commend you, Michelle, for being aware of your internal chaos. Thank you, Jack. Yes, it takes time to integrate. And in that taking time to integrate, it's definitely going to be an experience of what is going on and a lot of questioning. So give yourself that space, okay? In the body, when it comes to beliefs, believing in good things, like if we feel healthy, can help our bodies to stay strong, the same way that believing in that we're not healthy can weaken our bodies. Our belief systems, the things that we believe, the ideas in which we give life to, literally affect us on a physical level. If I believe that I am not well, again, what's going to happen? The mind is going to find reasons to support that. They have tons of studies where people are simply believing in an idea and their biochemistry is shifting. Their biology is changing. It is so fascinating. I gotta think of the book. I want to say it's the biology of belief. I could be wrong. But there are plenty of resources that you can look into that talk about how it works. Supernatural is a great book too, because they talk about how they studied beliefs and ideologies that people had, um, and how it has changed them. They did it a lot with athletes, where they would tell one athlete, just think, just think that you are winning the race. Just think about it. You're sitting still, you're not running, you're not practicing, but I want you to do this every single day, right? And then they had someone who was practicing, actually putting in the physical effort, and they both had the same results in their bio, right? Of like, okay, my mind, even though I'm not doing it in my body, is still showing up the same as someone who's doing it in their body. That is how powerful our beliefs are. I just want to, I'm going to drive that home every single time, because I want you to witness the type of resource you have when you start to shift your beliefs. It can really change your life for the better, no matter where you're starting at. Shifting your beliefs do so much for your healing, so much in you sharing your gift to the world, so much in you feeling safe and seen. Beliefs are really a part of that key to unlocking all of that beauty in life, okay? Such an amazing book. I think it's time to reread it again. Lindsay, please do, okay? No, you're good to go. Thank you, Ginger. Yes! Biology of Belief, Bruce Lipton. Also, his podcasts are so much fun. He's such a sweet person. Like, the podcast episodes that he's featured on, he's adorable. He's just having a good time in life. I love that for him. Wow, I lost my spiritual path because my mind was preoccupied with health concerns, autoimmune, menopause, and discussion is setting me right. All that you're saying, dang. Yeah. It's a journey with autoimmune disorders too, because it's invisible, and it's just like, oh, I feel for you first and foremost as someone else who's been diagnosed with autoimmune disorders. It is its own unique journey. There's something about it being invisible but feeling very real to the body that is jarring to experience. Yeah. I'll make a list. Let me add Bruce Lipton to the list too, because I'll add that to the email that'll go out later today. Brucey. And then he has a really good with Michael. Yeah, he has a good podcast episode I'll send because it's fun. He's just literally having a good time. So funny. But yes. Okay. Yes, yes. Thank you, Tanya. That is the right book. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, in the spirit, beliefs about what's important in life, like kindness and love, make us feel connected to others, into the world around us, right? So, in our energy, in our spirit, in our soul, whatever it is that you call it, when we have beliefs that we are of one, right? That belief of oneness, that belief of I'm going to be kind because I'm a kind person, not because I think someone deserves it, but simply because that's who I am as a person. Oh, Monique, thank you so much for your donation, right? That's a belief, right? I believe that I am a kind person. So it does not matter who you are. Because I believe I am kind, you will experience kindness from me because that's what I want to give, because that's who I believe I am, right? The same way that I could believe that I'm not a kind person, which means that I'm going to be pretty much mean and a little bitchy to everybody, right? Because that's my belief, right? If I believe that the world has harmed me, or that the world is unjust, which, in a lot of cases it is, especially as a black woman, I can easily show up in the world and, give it the hate in which I've experienced in my life. But my belief system is not set up that way. My belief system is not set up for me to take what I receive on the outside, to internalize it and then give it back. I've always had this belief system that I can alchemize, right? And that despite the fact that due to the gender I identify with, and due to my complexion, my race, that there are going to be people that just do not believe that I'm smart, believe that I can be kind, believe that I should be in certain spaces, and that's their belief system that they have to deal with. It does not have to affect me. It is an active choice if I choose to let someone's belief override my own. And the only time that I do that is if it is beneficial to me and my community, right? So, an example I can give is when I was dealing with poverty mindset. I had a mentor that would continuously speak life over me and would literally be like, well, that's not true. It's not true that you're broke. And I'd be like, no, look at my account. I'm telling you. She's like, yeah, no, it's not true at all. I don't believe that for you. I don't see that when I look at you. When I see you and I look at you, I see a symbol of prosperity. I see abundance. I see someone who has a lot of gifts and talents and that is worthy of being paid for them in exchange. That's what I see. That is a belief that I allowed to influence mine, because the belief that I had wasn't providing me with the resources or the confidence to show up and share myself in the world, right? I was taught that because I was a black woman, I'm not going to be paid fairly. That people don't necessarily want to hear what I have to say or think that I can be an expert simply because I happen to be the recipient of sexism and racism, right? And being able to have someone speak life over me and essentially say, I'm willing to help you reset your belief system so that you can see what I see, that is the only time that I will allow that to happen. If you're telling me life is going to be hard, right? And I'll give you guys another example. When I had finished, I just got out of a 10-year relationship, and I think it was like a year later, I'm like, oh, I think I'm ready to date again. And this woman was just like, the dating pool sucks. You're gonna have a horrible time. You might as well take that man back and just figure it out. I'm telling you, it's horrible here. And she wasn't being mean, right? She wasn't like, you don't deserve. But that was her belief system of like, it's horrible out here. Do not, just figure it out with that man. Y'all were together for 10 years. Make it happen with him, because there's no way you are going to be able to make it happen with anybody else. And I immediately just kind of like, yep, that's your experience. I hate that for you. That sucks. But that's not what I'm going to experience. I can't comprehend me not having a good dating experience simply because you told me I'm not going to. And the truth is, I didn't. And people were really shocked. She was like, oh my God, like only you would make that happen. I'm like, it's because of my belief system. I didn't allow you to speak, negativity over me, even though I know you were looking out for me. She was thinking in the way of like, I don't want you to experience the heartache in which I was experiencing, right? And I was just like, who said I was going to? I didn't agree to that, right? And that also shows you the ability you have. It can be that simple to be like, that's a belief system that you have. And my goal is not to change your belief system. That's for you. It's working or it's not working. It's not my business. But I am not taking that on because that does not benefit me. And the more that I journey in my well-being and in my spiritual journey, my spiritual experience, excuse me, I have really honored the fact that things need to be beneficial for me. Otherwise, I'm not participating. And a lot of people take offense to that. You know, it kind of challenges their own sense of worthiness when I say that. And I have to realize, like, that's for you to figure out with your God, right? But for me, I need it to make sense. It needs to be beneficial because I know that if I'm in a space, I'm going to be beneficial to that space. Whether it's through my energy, whether it's through what I share, whether it's through me being a safe space or being a shoulder to cry on. There's so many different ways in which you can be beneficial, by the way. It's not just about what you produce. It's about who you are. Because I understand my worth, I know that things need to be beneficial for me, right? That is the belief system that I have. That's deeply ingrained now, okay? Linda, thank you so much for the donation. I'm checking in. Siobhan! Girl, I didn't know you were here. Oh, Lotus Alchemist. Yes, 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 yes. Jack, thank you for the donation. Oh my goodness, better than church. I love that, Pamela. Totally channeling. I thank you, Mentor Lotus. Linda, thank you. Oh, what a kind thing to say. Scarcity dating advice. Yeah, you know, people don't, they're just giving you what they know. And that's something to keep in mind too. Like, don't take it personally when people give you information that makes you feel like, why would you say that to me? It's easy to be like, what about me makes you think that I'm going to have a horrible dating experience? Like, it hardly ever has anything to do about you. Most times people are just literally talking through their own experiences. They're not thinking of the fact that you are your own unique person with your own skill sets and experiences. No, they're not thinking that. They're just thinking, I don't want to see you get hurt. Or they're thinking, if I can't make it through it, I don't know how you can. None of those have to do with you. They don't. I can't tell you how many times people have underestimated me simply because of how I look. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, if that's what you want to do, that makes sense to you. Okay. But I know what I'm capable of. And I know what my divine source is capable of. So, like, that's where my focus is, right? Peter, thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you. You're so... Thank you, guys. Oh, let me move this laptop out of the sun because it is overheating. And you guys know when it starts to overheat, crazy things happen. And I do not need that happening. Hold on one second, guys. Here we go. Okay. Right, I can do bad all by myself. Right, I do not need anybody's help and making life harder for me. Thanks. So cool to feel people airing their beliefs in our bodies. And deciding if we want to believe them or not. Yes, it's a decision. And when you begin to look at it through that lens, you start to witness your power of like, oh, I can decide if this makes sense for me or not. It's not true simply because you said it. It's not true simply because a lot of people believe it. And I keep getting that understanding every time that I'm reading something. Again, the book that I'm reading on neuroaesthetics, they were talking about how this one woman scientist for 4 decades was trying to prove that the brain can rewire itself, that it is like clay. And all of her peers, people who have gotten awards in this, were just like, you're incorrect, babes. And it's probably because you're a woman. You're not that smart. The brain doesn't do that. The brain can't change. What's wrong with you? It took her 4 decades to prove this, where everyone in her field was saying, no, you are wrong. It's never been done. It's not possible. I can't even imagine the type of mental and spiritual fortitude you would need to have to wait 40 years for your belief that you've known to be true for those 40 years, for other people to catch on. But that is a story for so many people. So many incredible people who have changed our view. You think about airplanes and the Wright brothers and how they believe that they could fly. Everyone's like, you're crazy. Us in the sky? What? How strange of you to say that. And yet here we are taking planes to different places like it's nothing. There was a time where people did not believe in that. These are the things that I want us to remember, how influential, how impactful beliefs are. They literally can change the world. That is how powerful an idea that you hold in your mind can be. Never forget that. You are no different than the Wright brothers or that neuroscientist. You're no different than Walt Disney or Madam C.J. Walker, whoever it is that you may look up to. Like, your idea, that belief, can take you very far if you want it to, right? Yes, neuroplasticity is an amazing experience. Like, the fact that the brain can do that, I'm always just like, oh, so cool. But yes, Siobhan, divine timing, loves to be preaching. Oh, Jack, thank you. I'm joining the garden ASAP. Oh my God, yes, please join the garden. We're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait to give you guys some more audios and links and things like that. Any of the links that I'm talking about now will be updated immediately for the garden because it's just easier that way. The platform allows me to give you guys links in the moment, so you guys should be seeing that once I'm off this live, okay? I was gonna email you so that you knew I've been swamped this week. No worries, Siobhan. Thank God for this reset. 2 days is not enough. I'm so excited. Yes, like the movie lessons in chemistry. Ooh, TJ dropping gems. Oh, you know, I love a good reference. Okay, just finished the book. So good. Neuroplasticity. Sorry, couldn't join. Have been sick. Eleanor, do not worry. Hi. How are you? Paradigm shifting words. Thank you. I'm almost done with You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and you just cemented everything that she's saying in her book. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that, Amy. My book club is discussing lessons in chemistry tonight. Can't wait. Oh, now you have something to bring to the table. Be like, look, guys, here's what I was talking about in my community. We were having a good time on this, right? Okay. So we talked about what beliefs are, their definition, things like that. I want to quickly go over just like some of the benefits of beliefs. I know I touched on it, but mentally, when we believe in ourselves and think positive thoughts, our brain sends happy signals that help us to feel good, right? It reinforces those happy hormones. And honestly, the body likes feeling happy. The brain necessarily doesn't need to feel happy or bad, it just is. But when we are able to feel good in our mind, our body feels happy, and it makes it a safer place for us to explore things like trauma or any triggers that might be lingering, right? Physical health, believing in being healthy and strong helps our bodies to stay well. It definitely does. It definitely does. So much. So very much. And again, them saying that through personal experience of when I was working with my herbalist, part of the medicine in which he provided me outside of like the herbal brews was to tell myself and to picture myself in good health, to tell myself that I was healthy. He was like, I don't care about the blood results. Stop telling me about them. I don't care what your doctor said. Stop telling me about them. You stop taking that into your mind too and start believing that you are healthy. If you're in pain, you remind yourself that I am a healthy person. If you're having inflammation and you see your joints swelling up, you tell yourself that you are a healthy person. You have to remember that what we're experiencing in the physical is a delayed response and reaction. It's from the past. You get to dictate your future. Keep telling yourself that you are healthy. Keep picturing yourself in good health. And that also comes from The Secret, right, with Rhonda Bryan. If you watch the documentary, there are plenty of success stories about how people pictured themselves in better health and got better results. For me, when I used to do blood results, my blood would be thick like molasses, like dark, dark, dark brown. It would be such a painful experience to draw blood because it was just like so slow and so thick. There just wasn't enough oxygen in it. And they would just be like, oh my gosh, like, this is not a great sign. And one of the things I started to do is picture myself with vibrant, red, flowing blood. I kept thinking that, like, has to be flowy, because honestly, the alternative was terrifying. I just didn't want to believe that anymore. Like, even if that's what I was seeing with my two eyes, I was in disbelief. I was like, I cannot come here every day. I was getting my blood drawn like every 2 or 3 days because they were trying to figure out what was going on, and why I was getting so sick. And I just could not. I was like, I cannot. And I remember taking the teas, doing the things, and then my blood work came back, and it was just red, beautiful flow. I know it sounds kind of gross because it's blood, but I was just like, and they were like, oh my God, your blood looks so good. I'm like, does it? Like, really? And I looked at it, and it was vibrant, full of life. And I was just like, wow. It really blew my mind. And then I was like, well, if I could do that with my blood, what else can I do with my beliefs? And I started to just see myself in spaces. And, I'm so happy we had this conversation today because that's something that I have been navigating personally is my belief, right? In launching the garden, I keep seeing myself in this space with my people, diving in deeper, like I have to remind myself, because there are also beliefs in me that are just like, this is going to fail, this is not going to be great, people are not going to want to do this, why would they invest in this? You have that little small voice that's there, right? Despite all the amount of work that you do, they're still there. It's like, I just want to prepare you because I don't want to see you heartbroken, right? Fear trying to protect you. And using these methods of visualizing myself with belief, and especially when we do the tapping session in a few minutes, like, it has been so helpful for me to remember that I get to decide what my success is. I get to decide what it looks like and what it feels like, and I can live in that space as long as I choose to. Because if it's real in my mind, it's real in reality. It's just a matter of it catching up to each other, right? Yes. Oh, thank you, Siobhan. Yes, yes, yes. 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 My daily mantra, my body is strong, my mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. Healthy and strong. My Monique, that's beautiful. Blood work is always stressful. It's always stressful. Man, every time it's like, I gotta bring myself up. Like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. Remember that. And sometimes it's like, after a moment, it's like, remember that one time you did that thing, even though it happened once? Because I'm like, I need something to believe in. Because, right, when I found out that I was out of remission earlier this year, I was just like, I actually laughed. Because it was like right after the pregnancy loss, then my father passed away, and then now I was like, okay, well, we're just getting back to back to back hits. Sure, let's. I literally laughed, and they were like, this is a serious matter. I'm like, no, 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 definitely serious. I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm just laughing at the fact that this is literally a lot. Like, this is a lot, and if I don't laugh, I'm pretty sure I'm just not gonna be able to get off the floor. So I'm gonna laugh because I need my body to feel good. Because if you're telling me that I'm not in remission, what I'm not about to do is start thinking horrible thoughts about me not being in remission after I've been in remission for years. I'm just gonna start laughing. I'm just gonna start doing something that makes me happy. And granted, I'm sure the doctor was like, you know, should we kind of check in and make sure that you're like feeling mentally stable? And I was like, maybe you want to. You might want to do that, but I'm just gonna laugh through this because I need to feel good. I need to feel good in this moment because I'm not about to let that information settle into my bones. No, thank you. Like, I'm good. I heard what you said. I do understand what that means. However, no, thank you. And since hearing that information, have I had flares and moments where it's been very painful? Absolutely. But they have been very far and few in between. And when I go in for my checkup later this year, I do plan on it being positive results. Whether that is that I'm in remission or whether it's that I'm not in remission, but I'm still handling it really well, I don't really care as long as it feels good to my body, right? And this is, again, the power of belief systems, because I can then go in, and because this person has the title of doctor or has a level of authority in society, and be like, I'm just going to let you tell me what I should be feeling. And I just cannot, because I need to live. I cannot live like that. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot live like that. And having that deep sense of belief of like, I'm not willing to live with that type of heartache and that type of heaviness, I do believe for me and my journey, that is why I'm able to navigate a lot of these diagnoses holistically, or to have little to no medication involved. For me personally, this is not me giving any type of medical advice. I'm just letting you know what my experience is. I'm sharing my personal story. However it resonates with you is how it resonates with you. If it's kind of like, I love this for you, but it can't be for me, I respect and honor that. If you feel inspired by it and you want to do more research, I am grateful for that as well. I am always just sharing my story. I cannot give you any medical advice, right? Let me read into here. Someone who gets this agency and autonomy and heart becomes free of control systems. Yes. Lotus, how do you deal with the little thoughts? I do a lot of self-care. First and foremost, I acknowledge the fact that I'm having a thought. I don't try to just dismiss it automatically. I definitely don't think that it's like this mean thing a part of me either. I know that when fear comes up, fear is kind of like, oh, we're about to go somewhere that I don't know. We've never been, and I feel like you're going to be unsafe. Fear is a friend. It is not something to attack. It's not, like, I know there's like this like quote that's like, F fear. And I'm just like, Fear is a friend. Fear is literally always just like, I just want you to be safe. My intention, my existence in life is to make sure that you don't fall off of a cliff. But because we have evolved so much in life, fear has come in many different shapes and sizes. It triggers the mind different ways where it could feel like we're about to jump off a cliff, but really and truly we're about to go and speak on stage. It shows up in the body the same way. Your fear is just trying to keep you safe. Once you look at it that way, it's less of a fighting internal battle and more of a, I'm going to soothe you. Wow, that must be a lot for you. First and foremost, thank you for showing up and making sure that I'm safe. I'm good. I like to visualize myself in a car and me taking fear out of the driver's seat, putting it in the back seat, like the far back seat. Putting a little seatbelt on it, be like, look out the window, enjoy the view, but this is where we're going and we're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're good. We're safe. And fear's freaking out in the backseat for sure. Like, oh my God, girl. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm trying to do my best. And I'm just like, enjoy the view. And it helps me. It reminds me, like, this little voice is just like, I don't want anything to happen to you. Not this very, like, mean voice. It's like, oh, you're stupid. You could never do that. No, it's just like, I'm trying to protect you from the unknown. But the truth is, everything is unknown. Every moment is unknown. We generally do not know what's going to happen in 5 minutes. I have plans to teach you EFT, but literally anything can happen in 5 minutes. We're always in uncertainty. We're always in the unknown. The quicker that we accept that as true, the easier we feel in our existence. The less anxiety that we'll feel. The less fear that we'll feel too, because it understands like everything is unknown. Am I going to be fearful of everything all the time? No, that's exhausting. Who wants to do that? And a lot of times, none of us want to do it consciously, but many of us do it unconsciously because of our belief systems. This is why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys to remind you that you have this choice, okay? Yes, laugh before we cry and start doubting ourselves. Yeah, I laugh. He was very concerned. My doctor was like, he was looking at my partner like, is she okay? He's like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how this girl processes things. I'm like, no, I'm just laughing because I could cry. I definitely want to, but I'm just not wired that way. I'm going to make a good moment out of this, right? So happy I had a client cancel to stay with you, Lotus. Vita, I'm so happy you're here too. Actually, I've been working on my belief system. I'm trusting myself on something I'm working towards. It's so helpful. I love this. You would not let the medical test take over your body and heart being. Not in that moment. I just was like, I already was dealing with enough grief. I was like, those are things that I can't change these losses that I've had. They are very much real to me. I cannot add on to this plate. I just can't do it. I don't know if that's a sense of detachment. It might have been a moment of disassociation, depending on the professional you speak to. But for me, I was just like, no, yeah, He was like, no, that's not how this works. I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I want you to know that I comprehend what you just told me. I just cannot accept it. I just don't have the capacity. And being honest about that, right? When we talk about being honest in our moments of confusion, also be honest in the moments where you don't have the capacity. Like, don't make yourself capable when you don't have it in you to be capable. Honor your humanity, right? And in me doing that, honor my humanity, it worked out in my favor because I would refuse to accept that to be true. It made it where I was just like, okay, well, if it's not true, then how are you going to behave? How are you going to show up? Did I still take my vitamins, my supplements? Yeah, I changed my self-care. I'm just like, well, if you're saying that, what I hear is I got to take even better care of myself. That's how I'm taking your information in. I let my belief systems be a filter, right? Letting my camera readjust. Like, I'll filter in your information to where it benefits me. Again, it goes back to being beneficial. Like, what you're saying is more self-care, more rest, more water. Okay, because yeah, that makes sense. If my body is not in remission anymore, it's going to need more support. That's what you mean. Not, oh, I'm not in remission, so now this disease that has taken so many lives before me is going to take mine. No. You're saying take better care of myself, right? Okay, I can do that. And that's what I chose to believe. And again, a lot of people might hear that and be like, that feels very unsafe, or like, you're not listening to the facts. And it's just like, I am living my life for me. If me believing that taking better care of myself, changing my diet, working out, being in safer environments is going to help me to handle this, why would you tell me that it's not? I'm not harming anyone, and I'm not harming myself. I am not saying that this is not real. I'm just saying that I'm going to respond to it in a way that is beneficial to me and my existence. And I really wish that we would allow that more in our humanity, of being more supportive in our beliefs, as opposed to worrying for other people. Because when we are worrying, we talked about this before, we are literally, worry and prayer are two sides of the same coin. When you are praying, you're calling in the goodness in someone's life or in your own, and you're asking for divine intervention. When you are worrying, you are calling on negativity for that person, because you are putting your emotion and your thought, two things that manifest reality, together and thinking about the worst possible outcome, and then you're associating it with a person or a place or a thing. That is harmful behavior. That can actually harm someone, whether it be yourself or someone you care for or a community. That is harmful, as opposed to you being like, I witnessed that things are not great, so I'm going to choose to use my ability to speak life, to envision and show up and say, I want this to be better for me, I want this to be better for them. I'm going to call on something bigger than me to step in and make that happen, because I don't necessarily know how to do that. I'm going to take care of myself so that I can hear the nudges that may come up for me, so that I can be of support of this prayer. That is what I'm going to do, because I want to leave a positive impact on people. I want to leave a positive impact on my life. That's what I want, right? And I hope that other people begin to dismantle that belief of worry and negative thinking, or being realistic, because nothing is realism is a very, it just leads to a very unhappy life. Because if we think that these horrible things are the only way to live life, it just makes it really hard for me to understand, like, what's the point of living that life if it's going to be that dreadful all the time, right? Being pessimistic, or like waiting for the other shoe to drop, or preparing for the worst. When you prepare for the worst, you receive the worst, because that's what you're prepared for. You're not prepared for joy and greatness. You've negated that, right? Um, okay. Love the image of fear. Gonna put it in the way back seat of an old school station wagon facing backwards. Yeah, like, you go hang out over there, babes. You're good. You don't you don't need to drive. Driving is not your skill set. That's not what you're here to do. And that's okay, right? I still do it with a loving voice, because again, fear is a part of my existence. We all have our own version of fear that exists within us. It's just important. Love you, Michelle. Okay, we're gonna jump into this now. Lindsay, thank you for the donation. Pouring through you today. Jack, thank you so much. Thank you. Dismantle realism. Yes. Good talk. Yes. Okay, perfect. Let's jump into the EFT for today. I'm gonna close this window because they are cutting the grass outside, and as much as I appreciate that, it's mildly annoying. So let me do that first, because it smells good though. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. I just don't necessarily need to hear it happening. Hold on. Okay, a little bit better. Let's do our session together for EFT. It's called Bloom Where You're Planted, EFT script for empowering beliefs. And we're going to use that tuning scale that we talked about last week, guys, okay? First and foremost, let's take a sip of water together, because we just processed a lot of information on beliefs. And I want us to utilize water to help us transmute those feelings, okay? Oh my God, that's absolutely beautiful. Jen, thank you for sharing that. Fear is a friend who is misunderstood. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with that. when I look at fear as a friend, I'm just like, oh, you're just trying to take care of me. This is a very weird way of doing it, but like, you just care about me. Like, I get it. Thank you so much, Linda. Perfect. Okay, so the tuning scale, for those that are new, tuning scale is from -10 being the worst you've ever felt to 0 being neutral. I don't feel bad, I don't feel good. And then to +10 being the best you've ever felt. What number comes to mind right now, and drop it in the chat, okay? Yeah. Oh, Jack, I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. I get that. Drop it in the chat. This is our way of documenting our journey. EFT is a very subtle art form, a very subtle healing modality. So it can make you feel like nothing is happening when in fact a lot is happening in your body and in your mind. So we use the tuning system to help us document. So you'll have a starting number, we'll do 1 round, you'll have a second number, in between the rounds you have a third number. The intention is to witness the flow of your numbers to help you understand if you're processing the information, if there's any change that's happening or any response that's showing up to the EFT session. Okay? Perfect. Thank you so much. Love these numbers. And it doesn't matter if you're negative or positive, by the way. It's just simply a way for us to figure out where we're at. Okay? So for anyone who hasn't tapped before, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique or Techniques. It is simply the healing form of tapping on ancient acupressure points along the body to help rewire the brain and the body, right? Rewire the mind and the body. Reconnect them together, helping us to reconnect our energy, helping us to rewire any limiting beliefs we may have. This is perfect practice for this. Also helping us to transmute any trauma we have stored in the body. It's a really beautiful practice because it provides you instant gratification as well as a delayed gratification, because the more that you do it, the more that you feel centered and safe in your experience, okay? Yeah, Linda, we have a really good group of people. Perfect. And I love that you did that, Kim. I like that you have something for where you're at physically and emotionally. I love that. That's perfect. Okay. The 9 tapping points. Before we get into that, there are some ways you can tap. I want to just point that out. If you're someone who considers themselves to be an empath, I want you to pay very close attention to this, because my goal is not to overstimulate you. My goal is just for you to be able to enjoy yourself in this practice, okay? So we have, you can tap, which is the traditional form. You can tap with 1 finger, 2 fingers, all the fingers on either side. It does not matter, right? Tapping, if that's overstimulating, you might want to try pulsing, where you keep the hand to the body. Just lightly pulse, push in and out. Or you may want to rub. This is more of a soothing act. Or if you're hypersensitive, highly sensitive, you'll hover, where you're not touching the body at all. They all have the same impact. It just depends on what feels best for you in your experience, okay? So we have the side of the hand, which is between the pinky knuckle bone and the wrist. Where my tattoo is, you would lightly tap, pulse, rub, or hover here on either side. Doesn't matter. We have the top of the head, where the crown chakra would be. We have the start of the brow, like I said, on either side of the third eye. Doesn't matter if you did one side or the other. You would trace your brow to the side of your eye. Feel that ocular bone. You're tapping on the ocular bone. You're tracing that ocular bone underneath the eye and tapping there. We're going underneath the nose, above the top lip, and we're tapping here. In the crease of our chin, we're tapping there. We feel for our collarbone. It's the fleshy part underneath our collarbone. We're tapping here. You can also link your thumbs together and do the butterfly tap. It's completely up to you. Then we're tracing the end of our armpit, right? And we're tapping underneath here. So if you wear a bra, it would be where your bra strap is. If you do not, literally trace to the end of your armpit and start tapping there. You can tap on both sides or one side, doesn't matter, okay? You don't need to remember these tapping points. You just simply need to be able to watch me. For those that have been tapping with me for a while, you probably know the sequence. If you want to close your eyes for a deeper experience, you can, okay? Last but not least, I want you to use your voice when we are saying these statements, okay? Whether it's a negative statement or a positive statement, it doesn't matter, because your body understands what's happening when we're tapping. And if you want to learn more about why that works and why that is, you can join me for my EFT 101 masterclass. It's happening on July 13th and it's absolutely free. You can social media and you'll be able to get the link to join in. Okay, it's going to be awesome, and I will be breaking down what each tapping point means and how it helps the mind and the body to reconnect and to heal. It's going to be a good time. Okay, all right. I'm gonna let you start tapping in the first point, side of hand. Deep inhale, exhale. You can repeat after me. I release all doubts and fears sorry guys, I'm looking at it, that have kept me from believing in my dreams. I'm gonna do that one more time. I release all doubts and fears that have kept me from believing in my dreams. Top of the head. I may have held on to limiting beliefs, but I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. Beautiful. We're gonna go to the eyebrow. Love you, Amazon. I choose to believe in my ability to achieve my goals and create the life I desire. Side of eye. I release any negative thoughts about my potential for success. Under the eye, I deserve to pursue my dreams with confidence and clarity. Under the nose, I am worthy of achieving my goals and living a life of abundance. Chin, I release any self-doubt and I embrace my inner strength. Collarbone, I am open to receiving opportunities that align with my dreams and well-being. Under the arm, I release any resistance towards my success in my mind and in my body. I embrace positive changes in my life. I want you to drop your hands into your lap or by your side. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe for you, or soften your gaze and take a nice deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release through the mouth. And I want you to think of that tuning scale. -10 being the worst you've ever felt. 0 being I don't feel bad, but also don't feel good. And +10 being the absolute best you have ever felt. And see what number comes up for you and drop that in the chat as your second number, okay? And then once you're done doing that, take a sip of water and we'll do the second round and close out. Pamela, that's a big jump. I love that. Beautiful. Okay. And then we're going to do the second round. Give everybody some time. Begin lightly tapping here. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale. Okay. Okay. Deep inhale, exhale. Right, Siobhan. And repeat after me. And I want you to bring a smile to your face as you're saying these statements. This helps to rewire the brain as well. The brain doesn't know if you're being real or not. It just takes it as in you are in a good mood. And when you're in a good mood, you just feel better. Okay? So let's tap. Even though old beliefs may have held me back, I choose to let them go now. I'm going to say that again. Even though old beliefs may have held me back, I choose to let them go now. Top of the head. I am capable of achieving my dreams and creating a life filled with joy and fulfillment. We're going to go to the brow. I release the need for validation from others, and I trust in my own journey and my own intuition, in my own beliefs. Side of the eye, tap here. I'm confident in my ability to overcome any obstacles and to grow from challenges. Under the eye, I really trust that everything, every little thing is unfolding for my highest good. I know that to be true. I have unwavering belief. Under the nose, I am aligned with my dreams, and I take inspired action towards them daily. Chin, I deserve to live a life of abundance, of good health, and deep happiness. I deserve to live a beautiful life because I am a beautiful person. I have a big heart and a brilliant mind. And I lovingly give, which means that I can lovingly receive. Collarbone. I am so grateful for the opportunities, the places, the people, and perspectives that support my dreams and my well-being. I am so grateful to have a belief system that honors my greatness. Underneath the arm, I release any remaining doubts or fears, and I lovingly embrace the positive changes happening in my life in this very moment. And go me. I want you to place your hands over your heart. And I want you to place your left hand on the heart first. That's our receiving side of the body. And then we're going to place our right hand on top. Okay? You can close your eyes or soften your gaze and take a nice deep inhale, breathing into the lower belly, extending that breath into the heart space. Slow exhale, open mouth. Deep inhale, breathing into the lower belly, expanding into the heart. Slow exhale, open mouth. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release, and bring a smile to your face, knowing that you have taken the first step in rewiring your brain to create a belief system that honors you, your journey, your skills, your genius, your gifts. And because you did this, you showed up in community, you took time to take care of yourself. You are fortifying the belief that everything is working for you, for your highest good. That you get to be safe. That you get to have a beautiful life. That you can lead from your heart. That you can soothe your fear. And that you can have a good time in this life. Deep inhale, breathing into the heart space. Slow exhale, release. Drop your hands into your lap and let me know where you're at on that tuning scale. -10 being the worst you ever felt. 0 being I don't feel bad, I don't feel good. +10 being I feel absolutely incredible and amazing. And let me know where you're at on that scale. And remember, if your numbers increase on this practice, what it means is that you actually have a deep connection to your belief system and that you are rewiring it. If you find that your number has stayed stagnant or has decreased, then I encourage you to watch the replay of this and tap on this. Use this EFT tapping session to help you rewire it. Changing your belief system, rewiring your subconscious mind does not have to be a super arduous task. It can take a few minutes every day tapping in. You can join us on Lotus Living, the Inside Timer group. We tap daily there. You could join me in the garden where we are not only tapping, but we're sharing rituals. We're doing a lot of deep diving. I'm so excited to be able to share more information there because yay. And yes, again, we have an upcoming masterclass, EFT 101. I'm making it absolutely free. So whether you're in the garden or not, you're able to come there because I want you to get this information. It's very important to me, okay? We're going to have a really good time. And then be on the lookout for an email either later today or early tomorrow. Just kind of recapping today and any other announcements. And I will see you on Sunday for Lotus Hour. But you'll get an email from me either today or tomorrow. And you'll get another email on Saturday for like the weekly love letter, okay? And of course, you can DM me if you need me for anything. Thank you again for donating. For those that donated, if you are able to donate, please do. This definitely supports me in being able to pay my bills. Okay. If you want to dive in deeper, if you want to have a more intimate connection, please consider joining the garden because we're going to have such a good time there. And I really would love to have all of you there if it is possible. I'll also be launching the scholarship program today as well. Okay. Let me go through and read all these. Oh my gosh, Linda, I'm so glad you feel good. These make me so happy. Yes, so Linda, what I will do is I will share the affirmations in the Lotus Living Group, but moving forward, they'll be in the membership, okay? I'm at a 7 now. I'm going to do hard workout and shake out the last bit of that chaotic energy. I have a very important interview today. Siobhan is going to go amazing. Envision yourself having a good time. They are so lucky to have you and to be experiencing you. Okay? And I will add affirmations to group. Okay? I take tons of notes to make sure I get you guys what you need. It's so important. Okay. Let me see. 7, 8, 9. Look at that increase. That's amazing, Jack. So much more positive. Wow. 10. Oh my God, V, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. It also helps. I journaled about this before the session this morning. Journaling. I've been talking about on TikTok. So important. Siobhan, shake it up, baby. Yes. So much growth on that round. -2 physical, 6 emotional. That's huge. I feel so grounded, holding gratitude for you. Thank you. When flare-ups first hit, I can unknowingly disconnect from my body. So this felt good to tap in. I'm so happy you tapped in, Kim. See you all in the garden. Yes, see ya. Me and Sia have been having time. We've been having a time in the garden, okay? Thank you for joining, Sia. Sent Memo. Thank you so much, Goddess Mo. Let me look and see. Oh my goodness, my laptop is like, girl, I'm so hot. She's gonna cool down in a second. I promise. I promise, guys. I just want to make sure I read your comments. Feeling more aligned, on a steep hike. Enjoy that, Linnea. Thank you for helping me transform my perspective and physical state this morning. You're so welcome, Lindsay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Monique. You're so welcome. I love you so much, Lotus. Siobhan, you know how I feel about you. I absolutely love you. And thank you. I got this from the thrift store. You know, I like to thrift. Try to save the community. Try to save the earth when I can. Or save humanity, because the earth is going to be fine. Where's the garden? You can check. You'll find out, Dahlia, in the upcoming email. Okay? I'll send out that information. Oh, I love 4-leaf clovers. Linda, how did you know? Is it my necklace? Did my necklace give it away? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have a good time, Siobhan. They're literally going to light up when they see you. I feel transformative. It was a transformative time, Lotus. Thank you. Lotus affirmations today. They spoke to my spirit. They'll be in the group, okay? I didn't even consider having fun. Yeah, Siobhan, have a good time. Yes, I am. It's Lotus Loba on all platforms. It's all together. It's just my name. I made it very simple. You're going to do great, Siobhan. I can't wait to hear about it, okay? If not this and something better. If not this and something better. If they can't witness your brightness and your light and your gifts and how amazing you would be for them, it's not giving equally yoked, and we hate that for them because you're phenomenal, okay? Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I love you all so very much. Please have a beautiful day and a good rest of your week. I'm so glad we were able to tap in today and just rewire our belief systems, okay? And yeah, have a good time. I'm going to take some screenshots. And then you guys are more than, well, I'm going to try to, but look, my phone literally is just like, girl. It's super hot in my living room, by the way, because the sun is blazing, so. No screenshots, but it's okay. I took enough earlier. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining. Replay will be available later on today on YouTube and all that good stuff, okay? Okay. Love you guys. Bye, guys. Enjoy the replay.